Hey guys, this is Wiz, and today we're gonna talk about some brand new game that just dropped on Xbox Game Pass. Well, it's not new, it's been around, but it's just new for Xbox Game Pass subscribers. So this game is called ROBOQUEST. So this ROBOQUEST game is a fantastic game that you need to play. So as a caveat, I am not going to teach you how to play the game, but as a beginner you might need some help to start the game. And since I already played the game, I am going to give you some tips, some suggestions how to actually get going with the game. Anyway, first thing first, before we dive too deep into things, make sure you go to the settings, and in the settings you need to make some changes that really up to you. In any case, so you got the game option. There are some options here. As you can see, there's a lot of options here that you can check and uncheck. And if you are someone that can have motion sickness, then make sure you check this one out and don't use it. But you can just go on and off to see what works for you. But if you are someone that has motion sickness, then you probably not use this option. In any case, the other one is just check them out to see if you really want them on, and just experiment with them that way to see if you actually can deal with them. And at the very bottom, you also have some option that you can just check. Make sure you just mess around with them and see if you like them. So what I have right here is what I like, but yours might be different. Now, next thing is the controls. Make sure you check the controls. As you can see, mine is in the 50s, but I think some of them are in the 60 when you get the game. So you can just go mess around with those and check them to see, make sure that they are to your preference. Any case, and then also some of those options, the mode option, you can check right here whether you want the reload to be auto reload, or if you want it always, if you want it once, or whatever. Just check around to see if those work. So your mine is on toggle for sprint and crouch. Just mess around with the settings to see if that's what you want. And then this is where you have the controller settings as far as the buttons are concerned on Xbox, and you can see which button does what. That way you have a good time playing the game if you know which button to press. And then as far as the video is concerned, you can see the field of view right here. You can see mine is at max at 130, but it's a matter of preference. I like to see everything that I can see, so that's why I got mine like that. And as far as the gamma, just check it the way you want. And you also have the filter. If you're a colorblind person like I am, then you can just use whatever type of colorblind that you are. For me, I am the pro type of colorblind, so that's why I choose this option. But you also get this other option for different people, different color blindness. And as far as the intensity, just check it out to see how you want it. And then for the sound, it's just whatever. In any case, so we're done with the controls and everything and the settings, so it's just a matter of checking them out. Now, once you first start the game, you're gonna get into a tutorial, and then you will end up in this area right here. And as you can see, Max right here is your favorite buddy. She's the one that's gonna lead you into the game. But as we are here in our base camp, the first thing you need to know about is the workshop. Now, at the workshop, you're gonna get this resource called wrench. They call them wrenches, but in other games, you probably call them skill points. But this is where you're gonna come and then start upgrading those right here. As you can see, you got many options. So if you upgrade this to the max up to a level, you can see what it does. So it's a matter of how many weapons you can get when you start the game. Now, as far as the very top, when you see right here the Gadget Bundle 1, make sure you unlock this as early as possible, because this gives you the option to switch between weapons. So instead of having 2 weapons, you end up having 3 weapons to cycle through. So this is a very good option. And then other than that, everything else is just read what they say and what they do, and then just unlock them based on your preference. Now, around the area, some of the areas that are important. So if you want to play online, you want to take multiplayer with a friend, this is where you come and do that. So there's nothing much to it. And then as far as the game, this is where whenever you want to start a mission, you're going to start the game right here, but we're going to go back to that. And here, this is where you change the difficulty. Now, with the difficulty, you have easy, standard, and heroes. I would suggest that you just play on easy. That way you can unlock all the characters as early as possible. But if you decide that you want to go heroes or standard, then that's okay too, because I play on standard. I try the hero modes and stuff like that. I try different modes. But if you want to unlock the characters as early as possible, just make it on easy, and then you can unlock the characters, then you can go change the other modes. That's what this is all about. In any case, here, this is where you select the classes, and as you can see, you have 5 classes available right now, and you start with the Guardian. That's the one you're going to start with, and then you're going to unlock some other one based on certain conditions. So as you can see, I unlocked 4 of them already, and I only play for a few hours, and it's not hard to unlock them, especially if you put the game on easy. Then you can unlock them and start experimenting with all the classes. For me right now, I am playing the Commando. That's the one that I'm playing right now, but the other options are very good too, so it's just a matter of preference. Just try all of them out. That's the reason why I say unlock them as early as possible. That way you'll be able to find your favorite one. All right, now we're gonna go inside the game. So when we start the game, as I already told you, this is where you start the game. You get this little bus going, and then it's gonna take you somewhere. Now, this is where things start getting interesting, where you get into the weeds of thing. And as you know, this is a roguelite game. ROBOQUEST, that's the type of game. It's roguelite, meaning you're gonna have to go through a lot of trials and errors, and you're gonna always have to start from the beginning. But your progress that you make, as far as your unlocks and your upgrades and stuff, you're gonna keep those. But as far as, you know, going to the game, trying to beat all the bosses, then you're always gonna start at the beginning whenever you die. So keep that in mind. Again, it's a roguelite game, so that's the way it is. Now, eventually, as soon as you start the game, early on, you're gonna get this buddy bot here. It's a weapon that you can choose to play with, and then you know, just different type of weapon. And then you got max here, and then this is where you're gonna choose your weapon. Now remember, I was saying in the beginning, when you unlock those upgrades, now you have a choice of 4 different weapons that you can choose from. Now, if you did not unlock this in the upgrades, then you're not gonna have a choice of 4 weapons. You only have a choice of 1 weapon if you did not do the upgrades. So make sure you just use your points wisely. That way you have an option to actually get more guns to start with, because all the guns are fun to play with. Some are better than others. Then, you know, you have a better chance at making it a lot further than you would normally do. Now we're gonna go inside the game and talk about a couple mechanics. Then after that, I'm gonna give you some recommended weapons that you need to try. In any case, just go in, and when you go in, make sure that you are taking care of the enemies. What you need to know while you are playing the game, the enemy, they drop those health packs. Now those health packs, you need to pick them up as soon as possible, because they don't stay on the ground forever. So if you don't pick them up, then you will lose them, and then when you lose them, then you might need them to stay alive. So make sure you remember that. Now, as you can see the game, you can jump in the game. You can try to jump in the places and platform and stuff like that, but you know, it's the matter of preference whether you want to keep jumping or you want to stay on the ground. But just know that, you know, there's some verticality that exists in this game that you need to make use of this. Now, you're always going to encounter these doors that you have to go in, and then you can get upgrades, weapon, and stuff like that for your character. And then just make sure you go in there and check them out. Now, they don't always give you the best weapon, but you know, there's a lot of them that you can actually try. So if you need to try them, just make sure you pick them up. Like for instance, right here, I have the gun. I'm going to get rid of the handgun, and I'm going to try this one. It's the throwing axe, so we're going to give it a try. But you don't have to pick them if you already get the guns that you want. Now, throughout your play session, you're gonna have a station for you to replenish your health and get some new weapons, buy some upgrades and stuff like that. So this is part of the game, and just make sure you get the right weapons, the right upgrade. If you have one that you didn't like, then you just switch them. And then you also have these upgrades right here that's going to be available for you for this resource that you pick up along the way. Now, for this currency, which is called Powercells, they only useful while you are in a play session. Once you fail the session, then you have to start over, then you lose them. So make sure you make use of them, so whenever you can, that way you're not wasting your time for nothing. Now, another thing you need to know, as you can see on the screen right here, you have new perks that becomes available after you level up. Every time you level up, you're gonna have this perk. Now, you can choose between the one that you want, and you should be on your way. Now, I'm gonna choose this one because I already know what it is, but you're gonna do it based on what you want. Now, as you go further into the game, you're gonna encounter this guy right here. So you can upgrade your weapon here. You can also upgrade the perks. Now, if there are a perk that for the affixes that you don't like, then you can just reroll it for those power cells. Now, as a suggestion, make sure you upgrade wisely. For me personally, if a weapon is not at least a superior rarity, I would not upgrade it. So there are different rarity. You have common, uncommon, superior, etc., etc. So just make sure you do this very wisely. Now, the reason why I told you to upgrade the gadget bundle as soon as possible is because of this right here, because you can change your little gadget here. As you can see, if I go here and I can just change them to this one, which is the fanny pack that grants you an additional weapon slot. Now, instead of you having to choose only between 2 weapons, then with this option you have 3 weapons to choose from in your arsenal. Then you can use different element for different fights. Anyway guys, I think that's all we have for today. Hopefully you take the opportunity to actually try the game and have some fun. The game is a lot of fun. Thank you guys for watching.